Hi girlies, this is Sassy with a bit of class. Today we're going to be discussing, well, have you ever felt like you just don't fit in? Maybe you're at school, college, uni, in a working environment, or maybe at your hobby, dancing, the gym. Do you ever just feel like, wow, this just isn't a bit of me? Because me too, babe, me too. So let's dive right in. Before we dive right in, I just want to tell you about my nail experience I have. This has happened on two separate occasions, and I just want to know if it's a bit strange, because I feel like it's really strange. So, I'll give you a little bit of background, as always, keeping you girls in the loop. So, there's two different places that I go to, okay? This place I've maybe been to like a handful of times. I used to go to this other one, but it's a bit far away. So, I go to this one that's near my house. The one I go to now, it's closer to my house. There's free parking outside, but the nails chip a lot quicker. And I feel like they're not exactly how I want them. Does that make sense? I'm like, pass me the detailer, okay? I'll do the polka dots myself. But anyway, I've had buy up before, by the way, right? From a little gal for her own salon. It maybe stung a wee bit, right? But it wasn't as bad as this place. Oh my goodness. These ones were actually fine, but the ones I had before, I don't know if you've seen, I had like pink polka dot ones. Very cute. I got a lot of comments on them. Some people actually took inspo. Love seeing that. Anyway, so then, like, I was sitting there, right? But I think she knew it was hurting me because, I mean, she was getting me to put my hand in and out for like 5 seconds. And honestly, I don't think I could have lasted any longer than that. I was like this and, like, honestly tensing my hand. Like, I've never tensed before. I like to listen to people's conversations because who doesn't? And this little woman, right, bless her, I was completely judging her. What a wee shame. She was like, oh, it's really sore. And in my head, I was like that. I've had by it before, babe. Like, suck it up. It's not sore. And she was like, oh, it's really sore, like, is it meant to be that sore? And she was like totally like reacting. Now I know, like, she wasn't overreacting, that's just a necessary reaction. But I thought, wow, babe, like, calm down from your husband, God bless. Yeah, it's always sore when you first get it done. And I thought, oh, well, when I went somewhere else it wasn't sore, so I thought, I'm obviously just queen at being in pain. I ended up getting by up, and oh my god, I could have cried. I honestly could have cried. I told my mum, I said, you and my sister can never get a buy up. I've banned you because honestly it was hell. Anyway, today when I got my little brown autumn nails, very cute. They actually weren't as sore, thank goodness. But I was ready for it. And I was like, that, is it sore? And I thought, no, it's not. But yeah, that was actually hell. Anyway, I haven't actually told you two things that's happened to me. So, the last two times I've went in to get my buy up done, I've been like, I feel like a princess, honestly. I'm sitting there and they're both doing, I've got two people doing my nails. One's filing, one's painting, one's buffing, one's doing the detailing. But now I feel like my nails, not really much this time, but last time my nails looked completely different each hand. No one else knew. Obviously, you all give me so many compliments, thanks so much. But I obviously see my hand and look at it and I'm like judgy. So I'm like looking at my nails like they look completely different. Like the pinky one was longer than the other pinky and it was just a bit, I thought, God forbid. And then today I went in, okay, and there's like stools that you could sit on. They're like little plastic things that you could sit on like as you're waiting for a chair to be free. She just comes over with her file and starts filing my nails off and I'm sitting on this awkward chair. It's wobbling back and forward. I was like, oh my goodness, my back is in agony. I feel like an 8-year-old woman. And then after about 20 minutes, honestly, I was in pain. And I feel like I was annoying her because I kept like going back on the chair and it kept rocking and my hand kept like slipping away from the file, from the like electric file, and I thought, God, she's actually going to tear my finger off with that. But anyway, yeah, then she offered me a seat after about, no, it wasn't 20 minutes, it was probably about 10, but still it felt like honestly my back was in bits. Can't lie. Thanks for listening to my little nail shenanigans. Please let me know if that's ever happened to you because I think that's so strange and I get kind of embarrassed because I think, what's actually going on here? Anyway, it's quite good because I'm out there so much quicker and you only get 45 minutes free parking. So I'm like, I'm in a hurry, babe. Get this done rapid. And I always want a wee bit of design, like I always want a design. So it's kind of my own fault if I do get a parking ticket. But anyway, moving on to today's topic. So let's base it on, I'm going to start in high school. This is probably when I started first thinking, wow, I really don't fit in. always with girls. Okay, I could speak to a boy any age and I'll find some sort of common ground, or like, I don't know if it's because I have a little brother, he's younger than me, older boys. I feel like there's no competition. I feel like with girls there's comp, and I don't want comp. I don't. Why are we battling here? Why are we arguing over who's got the best hair straighteners when everyone knows it's me? No, but do you know what I mean? High school is probably the first place I thought, wow, I am not like anyone else here. Like, where's my gals? I will never bring up someone for the sake of bringing them up. If I'm talking about someone, it's because they've done something to me. So technically I'm talking about a situation that involves me, okay? But I'll never just bring up a girl and go, oh my god, like, did you see what she was wearing? Or, oh my god, did you see? That's not a character for me. My gossip will be involving me. I will be telling, if you've not done anything wrong to me, okay, your name won't be your name will not be brought up. Like, someone's like, oh, like, you've been speaking about me. No, I've been speaking about what you've done. And is that worse because I'm literally targeting their personality? Why do I need to be saying, you've obviously done something for me to be like, oh my god, like, this person done this, and they said this and that. Do you know what I mean? So whose fault is that? I would say theirs. Anyway, I remember in high school, right, when we got to like maybe fourth year, we were like that, wow, like everything we were doing in like first and second year was crazy, right? And I thought, that's only going to get worse. Like, and I was saying about my little brother at the time, I thought my little brother's going to get to like P6 because he's 10 years younger than me. So I thought, by the time he ends up in high school, okay, or in like P6, 7, he's going to be lying about drunk in a field. But it's kind of like that was just my year. And maybe the year above, and maybe the year below. Maybe just my gen. You would have never found me in a field. I was too classy for that. You would have, however, found me in a house party. Yeah. But that wasn't until we were older, maybe like 15. Don't condone underage drinking, but you know, if it's going to happen, do it in a house. Anyway, I feel like the time I'm talking about, I feel like everyone was probably watching Geordie Shore, so maybe that's what made us literally feral. Does anyone else think this, right? Soon, so there's a 10-year gap between me and my little brother, and then 13 years between me and my little sister. Clearly, I was a devil child. I feel like, oh my god, I'm going to pick them up and they're going to be like passed out in a field at like 6 a.m. and I'm going to like bring them to mine and be like, Mum, they've been here all night. Like, they just came to stay at mine. Hopefully that doesn't happen because it really gives me the fear when I think about it. Basically, every single group of friends, I would just sit there, right, at break time or lunch times or whenever I decided to come in. Sorry, I did used to bunk. I hated school. I hated everyone in it. Apart from, I know what? I actually hated everyone apart from the teachers. There were some teachers I thought, you guys are actually alright. Just people my age, I'm like, please stop. Like, why is lying? They're like, oh my god, yeah, one of the 6 years is just Snapchatted me last night. Let me see then. Oh no, I had to delete it. Yeah, of course you did, you pure big massive liar. Do you know what I mean? Shut up. Why are you so boy obsessed? The 6 years don't even know who you are. You're literally just fresh in. You're basically an S1. The 6 years don't know who you are. How have they got your Snapchat? I remember this other group of girls used to pretend they had a boyfriend. One of them actually pretended that they were going out with a celeb for years. They're probably like 15, old enough to know that everyone knows that they're heavily lying. And then there was one time she came and cried and said he's broke up with me. Oh, I just can't be dealing. But yeah, I remember like at basically every single house party, I'd be like in the kitchen having a little lifey with like different people every hour. Do you know what I mean? I remember one time I actually was fake. Listen to this. Obviously I go to dancing. I've always loved dancing and things like that. But then I decided, oh, I'm going to join a theatre group. I've never tried to fit in so much for my life, and honestly I just felt like so silly, and I could feel myself like in my head going, Kiara, what are you doing? Why are you here? Do you know what I mean? Like, this is not you. Please stop it. So I did. Because it just wasn't me and it just didn't feel right. It just kind of felt like I was trying to do it because this is the thing, right? I don't know why this is. I just can't wrap my head around it, okay? It's in school, okay, while we were actually there, I would be like the popular one, okay? Not in a weird bammy way, but just listen. So in the way of like, I would always be involved in everything. People would be like, oh, where do you want to sit? Like, where are you going? Like, can I come with you? Can you come with me to the toilet? I was like everyone's first choice, right? Not everyone's, but people in the group's first choice, okay? But then outside of school, it was like they didn't want to even know I existed. It was so strange. I just don't understand why that was. Like, in school, I don't know if it was like a look at me, I'm going out with Kiara, and then outside of school no one knows who they're going about with anyway. I don't know, it's just a bit weird. I'm not really sure why that was. I had the opposite. Then I had friends that would only meet outside of school, and then in school they would like walk right past me and I'm like, I literally was playing the part with you last night, what are you doing? It was just weird. Okay, probably wasn't playing in a park when I was like 14, but you get what I mean. I was like hanging about with them and then next minute they're like walking past me, I don't even get a hi. It's so strange, weird. I feel like kids are just strange and there's just not any rhyme or reason for it. I'd actually like them to have a wee like, I'd actually love to have like a wee chat and go, what were you thinking? Like, why did you just have to act like that? I feel like if you have me as a friend, right, I'm very loyal, I'll be there for you, I'll stick up for you when you're not there. Just like common sense, just kind of what you would expect, but friendly enough. People just don't do that. Anyway, this one girl, easily led, to say the least, and she put me in a situation that made me feel awkward, so I just removed myself from the party. I thought, I'm not an arguer, okay? I'll just back off. Clearly, I'm not wanted here, so I'll just go. It was like a function, so it wasn't like I was like storming out a house. Do you know what I mean? It was just a function. I was just like, said bye to the girl whose party it was, and then I was like getting up and the chair next to me fell back. I don't know if my coat got caught on it or something like that. And you can imagine how that went. So then it went around, a little rumour went around saying that I had stormed out and was throwing chairs around. And because I was jealous that this girl had another friend. And I was just like, that's just not what happened. They put me in an awkward situation. I said I didn't really like that situation. And I felt awkward. And then I just went, no, I'm not even going to argue and I don't want to ruin the girl's just party's night, okay? Because there's nothing to do with her. So I was like, I'll just go and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Then there were stories put up about me and then there was rumours and I just thought, no. Where's the loyalty here, babe? Do you know what I mean? Like, you be friends with 100 other people other than me, that's absolutely fine. But don't like start rumours and like take their side. Just because they're not a fan of me doesn't mean that you need to be like, oh, I'm not a fan of her either, even though we're best pals and I literally done your makeup that night. Oh god. To be fair, makeup was horrific, so I would have felt with me too. Sorry. I did think it was amazing at the time, but looking back I'm like that. Yikes. Anyway, I would just love to like know what was going on in people's heads, because I'm just like, you know? Moving on for high school, I then left because I hated everyone. And I feel like I would do more for everyone else than what they would do for me. Like, I've just like newly turned 16. No one had ever mentioned like mental health to me, okay? I didn't know what anxiety was or what that felt like. Never had it. So I was like, I don't really know what to do. But I was like researching this. I mean, taking notes, okay? God, I hadn't even ever studied for an exam in my life. I was just kind of trying to understand the best I can. I feel like quite an understanding person. I can relate even if I've not been through a situation. I was like researching the shit out of this, right? Thinking, right, how can I help? How can I make her life easier? Because she's saying that she can't meet me because I'm making her anxious. So what am I doing? Do you know what I mean? The girl was basically just saying that she was feeling anxious and she was having panic attacks quite a lot. But she couldn't meet me, but the only person that she could speak to about her anxiety was me. And then she would cancel plans as well, right, which I totally get. But then she would go away and meet someone else. I'm like, are you anxious to meet me or do you just hate me and don't want to see me? Like, what one is it? It's so confusing. So yeah, it was a bit weird. There was just certain situations I was just kind of like, I'm not going through that, so I have no idea how you're feeling or how I'm making you feel. And she couldn't really articulate like how she was feeling and she wouldn't want to tell me too much. And I've never argued with anyone or shut with anyone, okay? But for some reason she was so scared to tell me how she felt. If she says, oh, I think we've just maybe like grown apart or whatever, I would have been like, okay, that's absolutely fine. Like, what can I do about, there's nothing I could do about that. There's no point. I'm not going to argue with you. Do you know what I mean? Explain your side. I'll maybe try and explain my side and that's it. Conversation done. Do you know what I mean? It was just strange. Anyway, moving on. So I then left school because there was just a lot going on and I just thought this just isn't really my crowd and I just really don't fit in with anyone. So then I ended up thinking, do I go to college or uni? As if I would go to uni, but would I go to college? No. because it's just going to be girls my age and I'm actually going to not fit in again, and I'm just going to feel like I'm in the exact same position. So I avoided college and obviously uni. And to be fair, I didn't really know what I wanted to be. Like, I wanted to do something to do with makeup, I think. But I had done I had done a work experience at a nursery before and can't lie, hated it. I think I lasted 1 or 2 days out of the week. I hated it. I didn't hate the nursery. It was a bit awkward and they kept getting me in trouble because I was like holding the children's hands and whatever, like helping them with whatever, like going up the steps or whatever, and they were like, independence, and I was like, okay, sorry. They were like, that, can you do first aid on him? And my first thought is, I don't know CPR, but it looks like he just needs a little bit of a plaster and a wipe, and I don't even know where the first aid box is. I was literally there for like a day, maybe 2 days. So yeah, instead of going to college or anything, I ended up just doing an apprenticeship, which I actually highly recommend because it was actually like fine, and I was working with like a mixture of girls that were my age and older. It was absolutely fine, and I actually still speak to most of the people that I used to work with in that nursery, so that's quite cute. And I've not worked there for like 3 years or 2 years, 2 or 3 years. So yeah, on to workplaces. I still have the same feeling of like not fitting in. The girls my age, they like to go out drinking. I don't. I like to stay with my dog and Connor and just watch Halloween films just now. I just hate the thought of like drinking and then on the Sunday I'm trapped feeling and I've got a massive fear of being sick, so when I feel sick I feel like I'm actually gonna die. It's hell, really. So yeah, and I feel like that's like a day ruined. Like Sunday I can't drive my car, what am I meant to do? Can't go anywhere, and I feel like shaky. No thanks, sounds like hell. Don't try and change to like fit in, because honestly your head will be giving you the finger going, what are you doing? This is not you. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, just be yourself and you'll find your people eventually. Don't find that group. Like, my work pals are always doing fun things like the coloured food boards and things like that. Like, all the things that the girls groups do. You might even end up in a workplace that does stuff like that, so you can kind of still feel like you belong to something. You can still get involved with all like the little cute trendy friendship dates. Does that make sense? Probably not. Thank you for listening to this ep. I hope you've enjoyed. I will see you next Sunday. As you're listening to this, I'm actually currently working, so please make the most of your day. Thank you. Hope you're having an amazing day. As always, keep it sassy, keep it classy, and I'll see you next Sunday at 12 to be exact. Bye, love you. Sorry, I forgot to say, just pretend I haven't already blown up my candle. Sass. Everything is linked down below if you want to give me a little anonymous submission, and I could absolutely read it out if you would like. Or you could just have a little rant to me if you want, whatever you like. Follow me on all of the socials. We've got my personal TikTok and Instagram, and obviously the podcast's TikTok and Instagram. If you're watching, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're listening, rate and review, and I will see you in the next one. Love you, bye.